Guys and girls, welcome back to the end of week 2 of the London CrossFit 5K Challenge. Well, now a few of you are probably thinking, why am I running sprints when my end goal is to run a 5K? The way I like to look at this is you need to learn to crawl before you can learn to walk, and you need to learn to walk before you can run. So you need to learn to run fast over shorter distances before we can increase the distance and you can improve your speed over longer distances. Okay, so learning to run fast over the short distance first and then slowly increasing the volume will hopefully increase your speed over the greater distances. Another way to look at this is if you go to the gym or you go down to your CrossFit box and you go in there to do your workout, you're not going to go and pick up the biggest weight you can find and try and do the workout with that big weight. You're only going to hurt yourself, alright? So you're going to find a weight that you can handle in order to complete that workout. Now, if you also use this same weight week in and week out, your strength gains are only going to go to a certain point. If you want to get stronger, you need to increase that weight slowly. Okay, gradual progressions are going to see you improve your maximum strength. This also relates to running. Okay, if you go out and run a 5K every week, yes, your fitness will improve, and yes, that time will come down. But you're going to reach that certain point where you're not going to get any faster, okay? Your body's going to adapt to you running that 5K week in and week out. How hard are you working while you run that 5K? How hard is your heart rate working? How hard are your muscles working? Are you working to your maximum potential? Think about the intervals you've just done over the last 2 weeks. How was your heart rate? How was your maximum effort? You know, hopefully you are pushing yourself and you are increasing your fitness levels by working as hard as you can over these short distances. Placing a huge demand on your body is going to challenge it to become stronger, fitter, and hopefully faster. Alright, remember that routine is the enemy. We want to try and mix this up as much as we can, okay? We need to challenge our bodies if they're going to adapt. So we need to increase the work capacity. So we're increasing the distances. We're going to with the increase in distance, obviously you're going to be working over a broader range of time. Okay, so increasing the times that you're going all out. Also the model domains. Okay, so we're looking at tempo training, we're looking at intervals, and we're also going to look at time trials over a greater distance as well. Challenging the body in as many ways as we can. So if we want to look at your results and see how well you've done in the first 2 weeks, and find out where your weaknesses are and where you start to break down, how are we going to do that? I don't want to throw a heap of mathematical equations and a whole heap of crap for you to do. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to calculate the average time it takes you to cover each distance in week 1 and week 2. Okay? So all in all, you've done 14 100 meter sprints, 6 200 meter sprints, 4 400 meter sprints, and 2 800 meter sprints. Okay, so for example, with your 100 meters, I want you to add up all those times, divide that by 14, and then you'll have your average of how long it's taken you to cover 100 meters. With these results, I want you to log on to a website called the Macmillan Run Calculator. Okay, I'll put the URL up with the video. What this does is it allows you to estimate your equivalent running times or performance using the current running times you have over a certain distance. With this values, the calculator can actually approximate your running pace and your running times over different distances. It'll also help you learn what your pace should be for those distances, and we'll come back to that. So on the Macmillan website, I want you to select the 200 meter radio button, and I want you to enter your average time that you calculated for your 200 meters. Click the calculate button and it'll bring up a lovely website that'll show you estimations for your 100, 200, 400 and 800. So this is your chance to compare the estimations against the actual times that you scored for those distances. Is there a significant difference between any of those is the question. If there is, and this is where you suck. This is where we need to work on, or you need to work on, your fitness, okay? So if your 100 and 200 meter times look good, but your 400 meter time is out, then you need to work on improving your 400 meters. If your 100, 200 and 400 look good and your 800 is a long way out, then you need to work on improving your 800 meters. We'll come back to this and I'll let you know how you can go about improving those times. Okay. You also see on the website there's a number of sections that talk about speed, sprint, stamina, and endurance workout pace suggestions. Okay. In the coming weeks, we will use these figures, okay, so that you can learn how to pace yourself over certain distances. So any of the training sessions where you see tempo is where we're going to use these figures, and you're going to go out and run the distance, but it's not going to be at your 100% capacity. It's going to be between your 85 and 95% capacity, okay, which is what these times are in the workout pace suggestions, okay. Why pace? Okay, if you go out too hard too soon, you're going to bonk, or you're going to hit the wall, as they say in running terms. You need to learn to pace yourself. You need to understand what your optimal running speed is over certain distances. Because if you can learn to pace yourself, you're going to learn to be able to run further, faster, than if you go out too hard too early, bonk, and then have to try and recover from there, okay? This all comes with practice, and you'll get to practice this in the tempo sessions. Obviously, as you get fitter and as you get faster, these values can and will change, okay? And you need to learn to adapt to that. So hopefully this has given you a good overview of where you're currently at and what you need to improve. I'll put up another video at the start of week 3, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about the tempo and talk to you a little bit more about how to improve your running times. Hope you found this helpful. Hope your training's going well. If you have any questions, please post them on the blog and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Good luck, guys, and keep it up.